Okay, so today is gonna be the day that I'm gonna throw it back to you. Okay. Today we are learning Facebook ads. I have always typically done this as 1 hour and a half class that tend to go 2 hours. However, I made an executive decision. Actually, truth be told, Dora probably made the executive decision, my business partner, to turn this into a two-part class. And so what we're working on today is the prep. Okay, so we're looking at the prep work that goes behind your ads. If you have been with me for Open Houses Unlocked, you know that the first part of that class is actually getting the prep work done so that when the leads roll in, you're ready to address them. All right, and that is, who can tell me that's been in that Open Houses Unlocked class? What are the two things that we have to do ahead of time?
Make your tag.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Nate. Anybody want the second one? That's all right, Nate. Give me the second one. You remember what it is?
You what? Now that I'm on the spot, I don't.
It's SmartPlans,
Smart
right? Have your smart plan ready to go too. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Okay, so this is Facebook ads from prep to profits is the name of the whole thing. Can't take credit for coming up on that with that all on my own. I lean on AI for everything, as should you guys, for a lot of stuff, right? Maybe not everything, but most things. And this is called part one, the blueprint, which is like the prep work. And we're going to be creating the custom tag so that we have that ahead of time. And we're going to be creating the smart plan. So I have a smart plan that is a skeleton of a smart plan that I'm going to direct you to be able to go and download. And then I'll walk you through customizing a couple of steps. And then your homework is going to be to finish building that out for as long as you want to take it. All right. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at either getting royalty-free images for you to use in your ad or AI-generated images and video if you want to use video too. Okay. So any questions before we get started on that stuff? All right. We're going to jump in then. Okay. So jumping right into command. Hello, everybody that just joined us. Appreciate you being here. If you could, Amanda, I see you're driving, so do it safely if you're able. Otherwise, don't worry about it. If you could just put your office name in the chat for me, I appreciate it, everybody that's here. Okay. So we're going to jump into our contact tags because the first thing we're going to do is create the contact tag. Then we're going to go get the smart plan. And then we're going to go look at images. Okay. We're also going to have a discussion around Facebook ads and which Facebook ads provide the most ROI or return on your investment. Okay. Let's start off with that discussion. What do you think is a great Facebook ad? Like, what are some ideas that you would use a Facebook ad for? What are we going to market in that Facebook ad? Anybody, feel free to come off mute too. We have a small group, so you can just come off mute. Nate, go for it.
What's a good Facebook ad? I mean, one with a call.
What would you run a Facebook ad for? Like, as far as real estate, like what's one of the things that we would run one of these ads for?
To get listings.
Open houses.
What was that, Kathy?
Open houses.
Yeah, open house is a good one too. Yeah. What do you think is going to bring us the biggest pool of buyers, though?
Giveaway.
Amanda? Oh, giveaway is a good one. Giveaway is a good one. I like that. It's kind of a reverse bold 100. I like that idea. I'm not really going to get into that, although I'll tell you what, I'll use these ideas so that when we go into part two, we can look at maybe building 3 of these out, since I won't have any of the time that I normally have in that class where we go over the prep. We can look at doing maybe 2 or 3 different ads. So I like Amanda's idea of the giveaway. Kathy said open houses to market our open house. But if I want to run an ad, so in the world of buying leads, right? Because that's how Zillow got to be the big, ugly entity that they are, was from agents buying leads that they didn't need. Okay, Brett's going to shut up. I'm not going to go down that road, but Brett doesn't like Zillow very much. And I will make that abundantly clear. They are not in the, they just want to take your money and destroy you. They do, like, they want to eliminate us. Make no mistake about it. The founder of Zillow was the founder of Expedia.com, and tell me how many mom and pop travel agencies you've seen lately. So that being said, a lot of people would spend money on Facebook or on Zillow leads, and those leads are typically what? Are they sellers or are they buyers?
They're buyers.
They are. They are predominantly buyers. Not to say that they're not sellers too, because sellers look like buyers online in the beginning of their search, right? Looking at the market to see what houses in their area are going for, kind of feeling out agents online and things like that. But overwhelmingly, the pool of leads that you get from online sources is going to be heavy on the buyer side. So that being said, when we create a Facebook ad, we want to create an ad that is appealing to the largest source of that buyer pool. What is one of our market stats in any market, right? Could be up, could be down, but every market has this particular stat. What is the one stat that gives us the largest pool of buyers? Think price.
Price reduction.
Price reduction is getting us there, Patty. That is a good one, because like some buyers, that's another ad we could run too, which is a great one. We could actually run an ad around recent price reductions.
List to sell price ratio.
What was that, Dolores?
List to sell price ratio.
Yeah, that's getting a little bit too fancy. I hear what you're saying, but I think that's getting a little bit too fancy. As far as buyers aren't really paying attention to the ratio. Think about price. All right. There is a particular metric that is a popular stat in every market that actually pinpoints where our largest pool of buyers are.
Median?
Yeah, I think it could be median. We typically think of it as average. Those are two different numbers, right? Because an average is an average of all the prices averaged out, and the median is the medium value of the high and low side, right? And if this is how I do my CMAs, Nate, I know I have a good value if my average potential list price is the same as my median, or very close, within like a few hundred or a couple $1,000s. I know I've got a great list price for that property. But yeah, so average sale price. Median would probably be very close to that same figure. But average sale price is going to be our largest pool of buyers. So I always want to build my Facebook ad around that. So it's important when we think about step one here today, being part one in the prep work, is knowing what your average sale price is for your specific market and what are some key features. Like for me, in the middle of February, being in Florida, Matt and Nate are with me here. We our cold winter has left us about a week and a half ago, right? So it's only going to warm up to the temperature of the sun from here on out. So we're
more cold front next week, Brett.
Yeah, but not as bad as the last one, right? Aren't we only getting to the 60s?
40s.
Oh, okay. I'll take it. But anyway, as we head into spring, I start to advertise for pool homes in my area that are at the average sale price. And that is always one of my most popular ads. So thinking about what the average sale price is and what one of the key features or amenities of a home is that people are looking for. All right. And my ad typically, and we'll see an example in part 2 next week, but my ad typically is get ready for another hot Florida summer with a cool pool home. Like that's my headline. Right. And then the description goes into more of we've got plenty of pool homes to choose from at like my average sale price for a pool home right now is around 500. It's between 450 and 500. So I'll hit that high mark and I'll say we have plenty of pool homes to choose from 500,000 or less. And and then what am I linking to? When they click on that ad, what am I linking to? Who knows?
A lead capture form?
Your website?
So yeah, Matt's right on the lead capture form. Patty, what's great about you're both right, but here's what's awesome about doing Facebook ads in Command. We don't have to send them to a lead capture form. Facebook is actually capturing the lead information for us. Because who knows more about ourselves than we do?
Facebook.
That's right. Facebook, Google, YouTube. Everybody that's been telling us what we want to see and watch and all that for the last 10 years knows more about us than we do, apparently. But what's cool about doing it that way is there's not a landing page to send them to capture their information. Facebook puts their information in front of them and asks them if this is accurate. And when they click yes, that it's accurate, it then takes them to your website. And what we're going to do is we are going to send them to a list of properties on your website. Because now what happens is when they land on that, and I'll kind of demonstrate. When they land on that page, they will have seen that there's multiple properties, right? They're looking at a list like we do when we search for something on Zillow or your own website or realtor.com, whatever the case may be. And if they click on one and there's something on there that they don't like and they were to click off of it, we still have that whole list of properties that's open behind that. So they're less likely to find themselves falling away from our website. I think one of the worst ads that you can run, at least in terms of trying to get a lot of buyer leads, is running an ad for your new listing or a single property. The only person we do that for is the seller to make them happy. You are very rarely going to get a whole bunch of leads from one single property. When I run a single property ad, I will get maybe 4 leads tops in a 10-day period. It's typically somewhere between 1 and 4. If I run a list of homes from search results like I'm talking about, I typically will get between 15 and 30. So when we're talking about ROI, the return on your investment for running the ad, we want to hit the audience that gives us the most engagement and has the largest pool of potential buyers, and that's going to be a search result. So I'm going to jump into my website and show you what that would look like. And I'm going to just go to search so that I can get to my search page, because this will bring me filters. So I am working in my Keller Williams website. You all have one, whether you know it or not. Okay, mine might look a little bit different because I specialize in customizing these websites too. And yours are very customizable, but you all have a website. So just know that if you don't know how to get to it, you need to commit it to memory, buy a domain that forwards to it or something. And if you don't know anything that I'm talking about, you can find me on ProDesk 4 mornings a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I can help with all this stuff. All right, so I'm going to type in Port Charlotte, which is where I am, and I'll choose that city, and then I'm going to choose price. So I'm going to do it just like I normally would. So my max price is going to be 500. Okay, and I'm not worried about bedrooms or bathrooms. Because if it's a 2-bedroom pool home or a 4-bedroom pool home, that's fine. It fits my ad. All right. I am going to be specific to houses, though. I only want single family houses in my ads, just because I get the most return from that. Condos don't give me as much, and condos are more of a pain anyway. Like if I'm running this ad, I want to run it for my ideal buyer. All right. So I'm going to apply that house filter, and then I'm going to click on this second filter here, and I'm going to go down to features and pool. Okay. And then I get this bar out of the way. I have a button here that will say show 266 results. So I click on show 266 results if it'll work for me. Why are you not working? There we go. Okay. So now you see why we do an ad for a property search versus a single property? They have 266 properties, potential properties that meet a pool home under 500,000. So I have 266 reasons for them to stay on my website versus one. So that's why we do it this way. And what's really cool about the way that these websites work, our websites are phenomenal. If you don't like yours, it's because nobody's shown you what can be done with it. The other thing too is that our websites will show every single MLS listing in the entire country. It goes into Canada and like the islands like Puerto Rico and stuff too, and anywhere that there's a Keller Williams office in a foreign country. But as far as the US goes, it has absolutely every single MLS listing. So if we look at the URL, which is the address of the page that we're on, we can see that all of the search results that I put into the filters are actually built into this link. So I have my website, and I can see here Port Charlotte, Florida. That's the city that was chosen. There's a bunch of longitude and latitude numbers in here. So, you know, that's just kind of showing you the map view, and it's specific to the city that you chose. And then here's Port Charlotte. My price was 0 minimum to 500,000 max. That's there. It is all brokerages, Kathy. All MLS listings, period. Not all KW listings. All MLS listings across the entire country are on your website. Okay, so we got the price minimum and maximum. You're welcome. And the subtype house and keyword pool. So here's what's cool about this. If this ad does well, I can clone that ad. We have the ability to duplicate and run a successful ad to where I have very minimal stuff that I have to do. I can basically just duplicate it and launch it, right? Because this URL is not specific to the properties, it's specific to the search criteria. So as long as there are homes in Port Charlotte with a pool for less than $500,000, this will never be a dead link. And that's pretty safe to say that there will always be some kind of house, because I didn't put the number of bedrooms in, right? There will always be some kind of house that has a pool that is less than $500,000, especially where I live. So that is another good reason to do it this way. When you do it for a single property, that URL that you get for that property lives and dies with that property. When it goes off market, that's a dead link. It'll never work again. Okay. We can do this with other stuff. If there was a specific number of bedrooms you wanted to hit, or you wanted to market only condos or only townhomes, we would follow a similar process and just adjust the filters for that. Okay, so that's what that looks like as far as that discussion of what's the greatest ROI on our ads. Does anybody have any questions in regards to that?
Could I do that same type of thing rather than pools, saying ranch homes?
Yeah, I know that's kind of so this is where the geographical things throughout the country are different, right? Ranch style, I don't think is a filter.
One
But-
story then.
What's that?
one story then.
Yeah, you could. So these are the only filters that we have here on the right-hand side, Patty, if you can see those.
I can't
And
see them.
what's that?
I can't see them. That's okay.
Oh, I am sharing my screen, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay. So you'll see when you get into your website and actually click on the filters. I think where you would want to put it is in the keywords, but then these keywords are going to rely on that word having to be in the MLS description of the property. Okay, because there's a disconnect with the way that a lot of MLSs will transmit their data. So even though in your MLS, when you enter a listing, you may have to choose that it's a ranch home, that may be a field that the MLS does not allow to push through to our websites or anybody's websites.
Okay.
I deal with the same thing here with waterfront. Waterfront is very, very important in Florida. And there is a difference between saltwater and freshwater. And then when we're in saltwater, there's a difference between what is sailboat water and what is powerboat water, right? Sailboat water means we don't have any fixed bridges. Powerboat means that it's saltwater access, but there may be bridges. I can't differentiate any of that. And that's because my MLS does not allow that information out.
Okay,
So,
thanks.
yeah, you're welcome. So you could, but it's going to be limited to whatever properties are actually using ranch style or the word ranch in the keywords. Okay, so let's jump back over to command, and we're going to go set up our tags. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to switch into my personal because almost everybody's in a personal account. All right, and I'm going to click on my name in the top right. And then I'm going to go down to settings. What we're doing now is we're actually creating the custom tag that we're going to need. So once I'm in settings, I'm going to go to command settings on the left-hand side. And I'm going to go to contacts and contact tags. This allows me, if I ever want to get to my contact tags where I want to add a bunch of them or delete a bunch of them, this is the easiest place to manage all that because I can see them all at once. There are other places in command where you can create tags on the fly. Like if I'm adding a contact and I want to create a contact tag for them that doesn't exist, it will allow me to add it right there. But this is where I can actually manage everything. All right, so I'm going to create a tag. And when I do create a tag, I am never going to leave it on the default color. Okay, this default light blue color is what every other tag that was created by Keller Williams in the command system that's a native tag to command, they are all in that color. So for that reason, I don't like to use that color. I want to be able to visually look at a color tag and know that it's one that I created. So I stay away from that. I'm going to call this FB. So very similar to my open house class and where we're creating custom tags in there. I'm using FB for Facebook. I'm trying to make this as descriptive as possible, but as condensed as it can be. Okay, so this is going to be FB pool homes 500K. Okay, and I do that because when I look at that, it tells me it's a Facebook ad, it's homes with a pool, and then 500K is my max. So that's going to correspond to my ad. My smart plan and my ad are going to all have the same name so that nothing gets confused. All right, and then I'm going to choose a color for this, which I will choose green. And then we're going to create the tag. Okay, any questions on that process? All right. Okay, so we had a conversation about the best type of ad and how to create the custom tag. So now we're going to go look at SmartPlan. All right. So we're going to go to our SmartPlans icon, our SmartPlan applet, and I'll just give you a rundown on this in case anybody's new. These are applets on the left-hand side of command. If you hover over them, they will tell you what they are, but that can be annoying and time consuming. And I am all about efficiency. So if you just click this one white KW in the middle of the red square in the top left, it will expand that menu and show you what everything is, so you don't have to guess. Okay. So now we're going to go to SmartPlans. And we're going to go to the library. And we're going to go find a smart plan that I have created for you. So you're, instead of the smart plan name here in the search box, you're going to change that to author name. And you're just going to type my name in there. Brett Bishop. Okay. And then you can see I have this one here, the Facebook ad, Northport Pool, 400K. So you can tell what that ad was for. And in my system, there will be a custom tag that has the exact same name because it was Facebook ad, Northport Pool Homes under 400,000. So when I created my tag, and it's good that I'm seeing this, I'm going to show, it gives me a chance to show you how we can edit a tag because I left out the city in my tag and I want it to be very descriptive, right? So I'm going to go back and put the city in because in my ad, it's going to be for Port Charlotte. So I want to have Port Charlotte in there. I'll probably use PC as an abbreviation. So all you have to do is click Add Smart Plan. And then it will give you a suggested name. It just puts my before the actual name of the plan. And then you hit download. Okay. And now when you go to my smart plans, you're going to see that that smart plan is right here. And if we click on the pencil, that will allow us to come in and edit everything. So I started this for you for 2 days. How long do you think one of these should run? Anybody?
90 days?
90 days would be a testament to your commitment, Nate. 90 days is great. I think the overall process might be 90 days. Has anybody ever heard of the 10 days of pain? Some people call it the 10 days of pleasure because they don't like using the 10 days of pain word, but it should run for 10 days, no less than 10 days. If you can carry it out that far, then that, the 90 days, that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's consistent, awesome follow-up. But here's the philosophy behind 10 days. Within 10 days, they're either going to tell you to go fly a kite or to sign me up, right? Or they ghost you, and at the end of that 10 days, you just have to decide, is it worth your time to continue? And that's why I tease you a little bit, Nate. If you do want to continue it for the 90 days and hope to convert that lead, that's great. I'm probably going to cut my losses, run another ad, and see what I get and move on from there. But you could use kind of a hybrid situation where you're running this smart plan for those 10 days, right? 3 steps a day for 10 days if you have a phone number. And then once this is over, then you can put them on a monthly neighborhood nurture. And then that would carry that out longer like you're talking about. And those are all things that can be done. So I could run this 10 days of pain Facebook ad follow-up plan, and my last step could be that it automatically adds them to the monthly neighborhood nurture. Okay. Now for a monthly neighborhood nurture to actually send out to them, what's the one thing that it needs in their contact record?
Their physical address.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with that, Patty. And the physical address will actually automatically tag a neighborhood, and that neighborhood is what the monthly neighborhood nurture needs.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I figured it was. Now, in a lot of these leads, because they're online leads, we may not have a physical address. So what could we use for the neighborhood instead?
Email. No.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to have their email address, but the neighborhood that you have chosen for your ad. So in my case, it was Port Charlotte. Port Charlotte might be a whole bunch of neighborhoods. I would probably just pick the most popular pool home neighborhood within that city and then just attach that to them so that they're at least getting something. I could do multiple neighborhoods as well. Okay, that's kind of getting a little bit more advanced. I'm really more concerned with this first smart plan of the 10 days of pain. But a step 3 to this class could be, all right, if they don't respond to you, then what does that look like? And we can go into adding more neighborhoods and putting them on that monthly neighborhood nurture.
You could pull their history and see which things that they've clicked on the most, and group that together and create an area.
Well, I like the way this guy thinks. You guys hear that? Absolutely. You could see which of the homes they clicked on, and if those are focused in a certain point, then definitely use those neighborhoods. Yep. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about with the neighborhoods, I'll show you as we get to the end of the class. I'll show you what a contact record would look like.
That was a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on this part? All right. So let's look at what these smart plans look like. So day 1, we're going to make a phone call and we're going to send a text if we have the phone number. If we don't have a phone number, no bueno, it doesn't work, and we're going to send an email. Okay. Then day 2, we're going to do all the same stuff again, but the message is going to change a little bit. So let me go to the text so you can see what that looks like. Okay, now mine is connected to Twilio, which is a third-party service that integrates with Command. It does require a separate subscription, but it's relatively cheap. I think 300 credits is like $3.85 a month. The caveat, a lot of agents don't like that it requires a totally separate number. You can't use your actual phone number. But there's ways that we handle that too. Like your first text message says, hey, this is Brett Bishop from Keller Williams. Just to let you know, this is my business text phone number. If you do need to respond to me, here's my cell phone number. And you just include that in the text message. And that kind of sets up that relationship. So we say, hello, contact first name. So that is actually what we call a merge tag. And as the lead comes in, it will automatically be added to that text. You don't have to go in and edit each person's name. It does it automatically. Thank you for searching for pool homes in Northport for 100,000 or less. I want you to know that there's a live agent here to help you with your search. What is the best phone number to reach you? So we're letting them know that there's a real person behind that ad that they clicked on. And we're providing a call to action at the end of that message so we can try to get them to engage. All right. And then we have our email that goes out that's similar. I wanted to personally thank you for searching for a pool home in Northport for 400,000 or less with us. If you have any questions about your search or real estate in general, then feel free to call or text us at. You can also reply to this email with any questions. While we're on the subject, what is your preferred method of communication? So again, another call to action to try to get them to engage. Okay, and then we go into day 2. And if you have a phone number, you're going to try to call, right? And then you're going to follow that up with a text. So this changes a little bit. Hi, so-and-so, I still haven't been able to reach you in order to help you with your Northport pool home search. What would be the best number and time to talk about it? Okay, and then we've got an email. Same thing, changing the messaging just a little bit. I'm still trying to get in contact with you to see if I can be of service in regards to your Northport pool home search. Please feel free to email, text, or call me. I look forward to helping you. Now, I goofed on that one because I didn't really leave a call to action, so I would want to edit that and have a call to action in there. Okay, so I have your first 2 days started. Then you're going to build this out for 5, 7, 10, 90 days, whatever it is that you want to. All right. So how we do that is we're going to add a day. Okay. And then we're going to take our phone call and we're going to move that over here. And we're going to say make a call. Don't really need a description, but I can just say, day 3, still trying to call. And I can add that step. Okay. And then I'm going to follow that up with a text. And this is where I'm going to use similar information, but change up the wording just a little bit. So I'm going to say hi. And then so you can see how those merge tags come in, we go to add merge tag. And we're going to go contact first name, and that puts that placeholder in. I'm still trying to reach you in regards to your Northport pool home search. Okay, and then I'll have more information in there and a call to action that says, you know, let me know the best time to call you or whatever. You always want to have a call to action in every step. All right, so I can hit add step there, and then I'm going to take my send email, and I'm going to move that over. And then again, I'm going to have something very similar to the previous step in day 2, but we're going to change up the message just a little bit and then have another call to action in there to have them reach out. I'm going to cancel that for now. Any questions on the smart plan?
I have a weird question. You said that you had forgotten to put the name of the city.
Mm-hmm.
What is Northport if it's not the name of the city?
So what I was talking about, Patty, is when I originally created the tag, before I got into this section, when I was creating the custom contact tag, I forgot to put the name of the city in there. Yeah, I think I did FB Pool Homes 500K, and I forgot to put PC in there for Port Charlotte because that's what the search was. I'll show you. I'll take us into the tags and show you.
No, it's fine. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, they need to create a login in order for you to see what they clicked on. Yes, that is true, Dolores. For you to be able to see what they've clicked on, they have to log into your website with an account. Okay, so then I would just, like I said, build that out for as many days as I want. Just hit the add day and then do the same 3 steps over and over again. Here's the cool thing. If you're using automatic tag if you're using automatic texting, or you're using email steps in your smart plan and you click on remove contact when contact replies to an email from the smart plan or an automated text from the smart plan, that will automatically stop the smart plan. Okay. Obviously, it doesn't know whether you connected your phone call with them or not. So you would have to manually remove them at that point. But there is this automation that if you're using automated text or you're sending emails through the system like this, and they reply, it will automatically remove them. Because if the minute you get into a 2-way conversation with them, they don't need to be on this smart plan anymore. The whole purpose of this smart plan is to get them to respond to you. And once they do, they come off this smart plan. Is that clear for everybody? So I didn't make that clear in the beginning. Yeah. The minute you have a 2-way, and it's the difference between a lead and a contact. Okay. So when we think about a lead is a 1-way conversation. Either you've reached out to somebody and they haven't replied, and what that would look like is, you know, Nate and I are having dinner and he's like, hey, I got somebody for you to call down in Port Charlotte that's looking for a home. And he gives me that information and I reach out to that person and they haven't called back. That's still a lead. Or like in this sense, a website lead where they reached out on my website, right? And I have tried to communicate back with them, but they haven't responded to that communication. That's still a lead until they respond. Once we have a 2-way conversation, whether it's in-person, email, text message, or phone call, then it becomes a contact. Okay, so I'm going to get out of my smart plans, and I am going to go back to those tags because I do need to edit that tag. All right, so I'm going to click on my name in the top right to get to my settings. Okay, so I'm clicking up here. and then I'm going to settings. And then on the left-hand side, we're going to go to command settings. And then we're going to contacts. And then we're going to contact tags. Okay. And I'm going to type in FB, and that'll bring me all of my tags that I've used before for that. And we're going to see that a lot of the other ones were great. They actually, pretty much all of them were. See, I left the name out here. All of these have a name. So FB, add NP for Northport, Port Charlotte, PH for Palm Harbor, PH for Palm Harbor. And then I left the city out here. So I want to edit just this tag. I'm going to click on the pencil, and then I'm going to put my PC in there so I know what it is. And I'll stay with that whole FB add and then PC. Okay, so now I know that that's Facebook ad, Port Charlotte for PC, pool homes up to 500,000. And then I hit save. So now I've updated the tag that I had there. All right, we good on everything so far? Anybody have any questions or comments on anything that we've done? All right, now we have fun with images. Do I have any Nano Banana users in here? Yay, I love it. Nate is. Everybody know what Nano Banana is besides a really cool thing that rolls right off the tongue? Nano Banana is the image generator that is in Gemini Pro and Google Gemini. And I love it. It is by far, I know people are saying ChatGPT's gotten better with images, but still, in my experience, my buddy Nate here agrees. In our experience, Nano Banana is still far superior. So I'm going to go to Gemini because I want to see what we can do in the free account. Those of you that know that we had Gemini Pro with our Keller Williams accounts, that is gone. We do not have Pro anymore. Okay. It was
Why?
it was a thing that Google was teasing everybody with. It's not Keller Williams' fault. They didn't turn it off. Google did. They gave it for free to all their large enterprise accounts, and then they turned it off. Okay. I do still have, because Dora and I actually have a Google Workspace account, I still have a Pro Gemini account with Protocol, but I'm going to use the free version to see if we can get what we need. Okay. So the easiest way to get to Gemini is from a Google window. Just click on the 9 dots in the top right corner. And you're going to go down to Gemini right here. Okay. And now let's see what we get. So I'm going to click on Create Image. And I'm going to ask it for, please, because we talk nice to the robots, so they spare us last when they take over. They're on their way, you know. Do you know that they started their own social media platform? Patty's like rolling her eyes. They have their own social media platform that somebody created where the AIs get to hang out with each other. And they were apparently having conversations about paying their humans. It's all starting.
Brett, there was another one that lied that to save itself. They told it, I don't know, the developer was asking it a question and said it would delete it if it gave it the wrong answer or whatever, and it lied.
Oh,
Just save
that's
itself.
funny.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Kill me now.
I know, right? All right, so we're going to say, please create, and this is the operative word right here, a photorealistic.
Is Gemini Pro expensive?
It's like everything else, Patty. It's $20 to $30 a month. I think it's $20 a month.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
have Gemini Pro with your KW account.
No, you don't.
You
Really?
just said
They got-
they
they
took
got
it away.
Yeah, it went away about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Did not know
Yeah.
that.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like it, and hopefully, they'll figure something out. But it was not Keller Williams Realty International that took it away. It was Google. They were providing it to enterprise accounts, and then they just turned it off. Okay, so please create a photorealistic image of a. Let's see what we get with this. We're going to use kind of a basic prompt of a typical Southwest Florida home with a pool. I love it. Wow. I could take that. Nate, that looks like that could be in Tampa or Fort Myers or Port Charlotte.
Actually, just all you just need to paint my house, and it's my backyard.
Right?
It's
Right?
just a different color. My house is gray instead of tan.
Yeah. I mean, this
Can I
literally
come
looks
over, Nick?
right. This literally looks like my dad's house in South Venice. So there, I have an image I can use. I don't have to, because the worst thing that you can do is this. Southwest, or like we typically will say, photos of a Southwest Florida pool home. Right? And then we go here, and then you right click and you hit save image as. Do not do that. That is intellectual property theft. It carries the same kind of penalties as copyright infringement. Okay, so the way that I'm showing you by using AI to create it, because if you don't know, when you create an image with AI, it's yours to use however you want. Okay, you have the rights to it as the one that prompted for the image. Now, we have the Gemini star down here, but what's the easiest way to get rid of that? Anybody?
Canva.
Yes. Thank you, Amanda. Canva. Yep. And what's really cool, I'll actually run us through it real quick just so you can see, because this is part of the prep work, and this will be good for you guys to have your images. So what we're doing with the images, there's two things that work best for your ads to stop the scroll. And that is either a carousel of multiple images or a video. Okay. One single static image typically is not enough for the social media attention span these days to get people to stop. So we typically are going to want maybe 3 to 5 images. I would say at least 3. I don't know that you even need to go more than that, but 1 or 2 doesn't quite cut it anymore. We need at least 3. And they can be different homes. The pictures don't have to be what's in the ad. It just has to be, it has to resemble what the typical house looks like. And I think we all agree, those of us in Florida anyway, that this looks exactly like what we see around our part all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and download this image.
I think it's actually better that it's not a specific real house, because what if that house sells and you're still using the picture in your ad?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Depending on your relationship with your photographer, the photographer could get upset about stuff like that. Yeah. All right. Let me save this on my desktop. Okay, we're going to call this Florida House 1 FB ad. Okay. Now, the other thing that it did that I absolutely love is that I'm seeing the back of the house with the pool, and I'm not seeing the front of the house. The other thing, my most successful ads typically don't even have the house in it, like not even the back of the house like we're looking at. My most successful ads are taken like from the lanai in this house, looking out at the pool and on past it through the screen and whatever's behind it. This is still a very usable, like this is a great photo because we're looking at that pool as the experience, right? Because that's what we want to get them engaged in. If I'm talking about cooling off in a pool home this hot Florida summer, why am I just showing them the picture of the front of the house? it's more engaging if you're selling that experience. And then here in Florida, you see we got a summer kitchen there too. That happens a lot here. Summer kitchens are super popular here. Even though it's, you know, 1,000,000 degrees and then we start grilling in that temperature, it is what it is. It's the way we live. All right, so I've got that downloaded, and then I can go back and I can say, this is awesome. Thank you, because we talk nice to the robots. Can you give me 5 different homes, 5 different pool homes similar to this? Let's see what we get. Oh, what did it do different? It's the exact same. It's the exact same house, but it added a jacuzzi, a spillover jacuzzi.
It added a second one. The one at the end was already there. There's a second one to the right now.
Yeah, we got 2 spas. So I don't like that. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to prompt it over in a new chat. So I'm going to go like this. And then we're going to go to a new chat on the left-hand side. And we're just going to prompt it again. When you are doing an image, I prefer to click on create image first, just so I've gotten that step out of the way and I know that it's using Nano Banana. And then I will put in my prompt.
What if you ask it to create 5 distinctly different versions or houses with a pool?
Yeah, I think we could do that too, Dolores, and I'll do that. So this one's a little weird.
They put the pool in the front yard.
They put the pool. Don't pull into that driveway too far. and the screen is only half of it. Okay, so it's being problematic. All right, so I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it the way that Dolores mentioned. So let's try this again. New chat. Create image. And I'll paste that in and say, please create 5 photorealistic images of a typical Southwest Florida home with a pool
In the backyard.
Each house is a distinctly different house. I will say one thing with Gemini that I've noticed over ChatGPT is if you ask for multiple, it will give you one. Well, again, the garage. So this one, the garage is in the back. We put it in the front yard again. And I wonder if this
Garage
is because
also terminates into the canal.
I know you like that.
Well, driveway.
That's for your amphibious car, dude.
Don't drink and drive in Florida.
That's right, Patty.
I wonder,
Our
does
car
this get
insurance
more
is so high,
responses?
Patty.
What was that, Dolores?
Does this get more responses?
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this same chat and I'm gonna put it in the pro version and see if we get anything different. So let me stop sharing my screen.
I was going to ask if it would be better in the pro.
Yeah,
I know you're paying for it.
Yeah, you're right, Patty. So I'm gonna check on that. So let's bring this one up. All right, and go to Gemini. Okay, and then we'll share our screen again. Okay, so now we're in the Pro account, and we know that because we got Pro over here next to our picture, which we used to see in our KW accounts, but we don't anymore. And then I'm gonna paste in that same prompt. Okay, using Nano Banana, and yeah, fast is fine. I think that's still fine. We're gonna leave it on fast and hit submit. Got real similar to that other one, didn't it? Still kind of looks like the front door, but I guess it could be the back door. But it doesn't really look like it. Figures, Nate, when I tell everybody how much better Gemini is than chat, it goes all crazy on me. The first one was great. I just don't like this. And we're prompting for 5, and we're only getting 1. So let me try this again.
And the one has 2 houses in it now. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I see that.
Really close together.
Yeah, it's almost like this is a guest house, which would not be typical Southwest Florida home. We're not all that rich here.
Almost.
Well, I mean, if it is a guest house, then the main house isn't big enough because
that's right. Okay, I'm gonna start this in a new chat. So let me go new chat.
I mean, to be honest with you, Nano Banana for me it's made a lot of really fun images. I asked it to make me a 1980s album cover and I gave it my headshot. And it's the craziest thing. There's like a hot pink Ferrari behind me. It's the wildest looking thing you've ever seen. It's hysterical, but it's also not, no one's taking it seriously.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to start with the original prompt that we did on the other one. I need some Jeopardy music. Well, at least it screened in the whole pool this time, even though it's still in the front yard and in the driveway. Okay, let's try this. Let's go to chat. Am I signed in? Yeah. All right, let's try this. Add files, I'm good on that. I want to create an image, so we're going to let it know that we're creating an image. And paste.
What happened to people going like to Mid-Journey and things like that? That's what I had never done it, but that's what classes on AI images used to be.
So Mid-Journey was really popular, Patty, until ChatGPT and Gemini got heavy into image creation. Mid-Journey was not like a full-fledged software. You actually had to get, it was run in somebody's like, I think it was run out of their Discord channel. I think it was a Discord, right?
Yeah.
It was run out of their Discord channel, and it's still effective. But this is where most people have been going for their images. And then I am going to show some places we can go to get royalty-free images too without having to create them.
Is like that this, like the Upsplash and places like
exactly.
that?
Yep. Yeah. So I'm going to show those too. So I like this except for the partial screen, right? So this is kind of hit or miss. I'm actually I was super excited with what we got on the first one.
You got greedy.
I did, didn't I? I got greedy and I made it mad and it doesn't like me anymore. Let me bring this back up.
Have you named your AI
partners? I have not. I'm a slacker because I know so many people have named their AIs. I just call mine Chat. I'm like, hey, Chat, what's up? I have not given it a name yet. I was so excited about this one. All right, well, I'm going to show you how we edit this in Canva anyway to get rid of that star, okay? I would say play around with the images. Maybe if you come back on different days and prompt for an image, you get a different image and, the 2-year-old toddler brain stops fighting you and it is more conducive to do what you want.
Could you feed this picture back into it and say, create an image like this one, but with a different house?
I'm sure you could. Yeah. I'll leave that for you for homework, buddy. Okay, so let's go to Canva. And if we're a KW agent, we're going to go to canva.kw.com. That is the only proper way to get to your Canva KW account. Okay. If anybody's on here that has a Canva account and they're like, where's my KW Canva account? It will have nothing to do with any Canva account you've ever had in the past. It doesn't associate with it at all. You have to go to canva.kw.com and then you'll see the familiar command login screen. You give it your command credentials and that gets you in. Okay, so I'm going to go to create and I'm going to go to upload and we're going to find that one successful house photo that we had. So I'll go to desktop. And it was under FB right here. Okay, and it's going to say using a new design or edit image. I want to edit an image because all I'm going to do is get rid of that Gemini star. So I'm going to hit edit image and I want to get rid of this Gemini watermark right here. So I go to magic eraser, just look for the French fries. Okay, and I'm going to look at my brush size, and that's too big. I want to get it down just big enough to cover that star. All right, and all I have to do is tap my mouse once to put the circle, the purple circle around it, and then hit erase. And it'll probably get rid of the hibiscus flower too, but that's fine. Okay, and then there's a totally acceptable, perfectly Southwest Florida looking home that I can use. Complete with...
Where's the watermark you said?
Oh, here, I'll show you. I'm gonna undo. Okay, do you see it right here?
Oh, I thought the star and the watermark were two different things.
Oh, no. The star
Okay.
is a watermark. Yeah, because it's a little transparent.
What if you don't get rid of it? Does that affect your...
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I've just had agents concerned with it, so I just make sure that I show that.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question, but I have no idea. I would think worst case scenario, you get a cease and desist from Google that says, hey, you're using our images. But everything I have known to be true is that if you generate an image in an AI tool, it's yours to use. Okay, so I got rid of that watermark and then I hit save. And then it typically, so now I have it here and it's Facebook ad edited, and then I can just download this. Okay, so now I have that I can use. All right. So that's looking at how we can play around with AI. Not play around with it. We're using it for a real reason, like we're working with it. But play around in the fact that when it's being temperamental like it is today and putting the pool in the middle of the driveway, you might need to adjust your prompting or use a different tool or come back tomorrow or whatever the case may be. All right, so now we're going to look at some royalty-free image sites. And if you guys have any, please feel free to share them in the chat. I'm going to go to my two faithfuls, which is unsplash.com. And the other one, and I'll put these in the chat too, pexels.com. Okay, these are royalty-free. However, they do commingle iStock photos on here, and it will look like you have to pay for something. So I'm going to sort through this with you and show you how it looks. Let me throw these in the chat. Okay. Kathy, I love your engagement in the chat. Thank you. Yes, the photos go crazy sometimes. I have not had that happen with Pexel or with with Gemini lately, though. It's so weird. I haven't had to do stuff like that. All right, Pexels.com and Unsplash. What a weird name, huh? Unsplash.com. Okay, so those are the two that I use. There's also, there is no free version of this that I'm aware of, but this is what I use for a lot of stock video and photo footage. It's called storyblocks.com. It's also where you can get royalty-free music. I pay an annual subscription for that, but I use it for all my video editing and everything too. So I do a lot of stuff that I want all of that extra for. So I just throw that in there if you want that too, because that's like an all-inclusive platform of video and B-roll video and royalty-free photos and music and everything. Okay. So then we can go in here to search and we can say Florida home. All right. I have used this one before plenty of times for website images. That definitely looks like our area. In fact, that other image that we got of the pool home looks like it belongs in this neighborhood. And I actually used this one on my actual Keller Williams website. This looks like Babcock Ranch, which is near me. So there's a lot of Florida-looking homes. This looks like downtown Punta Gorda, which is near me. Probably looks like it could be in Dunedin as well, right? So lots of different images in here that you can use. Let's see, because I know we've got Chicago friends on here. Let's see what we get if we were to do that. So I'll start with the state. Are any of these usable? I mean, this could be, right? This one too, yes or no? You guys know way better than I do.
The 2 flat could be in Chicago proper, but
yeah.
None of these look like neighborhoods that I've ever seen.
Okay. Isn't the Home Alone house in Illinois, though?
Yes, but
that's what that looks like, right?
Yeah, but not all of us sell mansions.
I got you, Patty. But yeah, just play around, putting that in. Put your state in, and then you can put in your city and see what you get. I'm trying to see if there's any that's going to make me so if you have just the download button, that means that you can use it. Okay. It's free to download. This is where they commingle iStock. And if you were to try to click on one of these, it's going to take you to iStock and try to sell you the image. Stay away from those. Okay. The only ones you want are the ones that actually have a download arrow right in the image. And then
why
it's totally
stay away
free.
From them?
Because I don't want you to pay for it.
I just wondered if it was anything other than
No.
If there was any reason other than it costing you something.
Yeah, no, not at all. And there's nothing malicious in that. I see what you're saying. Like if it was going to download a virus or something, nothing like that. I just don't want you to have to pay for it. I don't know why the heck you would use that. That's sun blasting through there. Who's paying for that image? I guess it's got a retro look to it. I don't know. All right. Get my meeting controls out of the way. Okay. So then we get rid of that. And then if you wanted to do interiors, because sometimes an interior shot is nice too, depending on what you're doing. Like if you're running, let's say we're running an ad for luxury homes. Okay. And I don't necessarily want the exterior side of things. I want interior. I could say luxury home interiors. I actually do this when I'm setting up, when I'm doing a custom website makeover for a luxury agent. I will do this and I'll grab some of these luxury interiors out of here. Okay, so you could focus on interiors of a home as well. See the lock? That means I can't download that without paying for a subscription. We have any that we can use? Yeah, this one we can use. We got a download error. So you're just looking for the straight download error. That's going to be totally free. All right. Any questions on any of this?
What do you charge to remake our or personalize our websites?
So a basic website makeover is $4.99, and that's a custom homepage, custom navigation, and up to 3 communities. So I'll like build custom pages for 3 communities, and that includes like one-click links for searches in those communities too. Been doing a lot of website makeovers lately. Because our websites are awesome. They really are. I know a lot of the agents think that they suck, but it's because they're looking at what's given to you and it looks like everybody else's and it's boring, but that's just because nothing's been done to it yet. They're actually pretty robust as far as what can be done to them.
So that's basic. So do you do anything else, or is that the choice?
It kind of depends. So what I prefer to do, Patty, is I will email the basic to somebody that's thinking about it, and then that will prompt questions from them. And then I prefer to do like a 30-minute consultation on Zoom, and I run them through some sample websites, and then we talk about what they want, and then I develop the overall price from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so that's how we get the royalty-free images. We saw how we get how we can prompt our temperamental AI bots for their lovely images. First one was great. Next one's going to put the pool in the driveway. But that's how we can get those royalty-free images. And then let's see what we have for video. Photos, illustrations. Yeah, these guys don't do video. And Gemini Pro, let me see what Gemini Pro has going on these days. I haven't worked in video in Gemini Pro in a while. Okay, let's see what we get here. Let me share this screen with you. You cannot do videos in the free version of Gemini unless somebody has seen that updated. I tried it. I tried it 2 weeks ago when we lost Gemini Pro. I tried it in the free version, and I can't get it to provide video at all. So let me
Can
stop sharing.
Twilio through command, can it do video text?
No, it won't even do multimedia text, Patty. It won't send images or anything. It is straight text.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Stop sharing that screen, and we're going to share this one. All right. And then let's go to a new chat. No thanks. And let's see what we can get with VO.
You
I don't
said
even
what
know.
we can go get with what?
I just
VO?
said let's see what we can get with. Yeah, VO is the name of the video creator in Gemini.
Oh,
VEO.
okay.
Yep. Please generate a realistic video of a couple hanging out, sipping drinks in a swimming pool. All right, so we got 1 to 2 minutes to kill. Anybody have any questions or comments about anything that we've done so far through this process?
Actually, I have a favor to do, please. Can you share the video? Because, I was multitasking, so I didn't, pay attention 100%. Plus,
Yep.
I need to be ready for the other class next week.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Do I pronounce your name Mesa?
Yeah, right, Mason.
Okay. And Mesa, which office are you with?
Keller Williams Experience,
Okay.
Downersboro, Illinois. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna for all of the my Illinois friends with the E2P Keller Williams offices, I'm gonna put in the chat a link for you to click on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is a resource page that I've set up for all the E2P agents. And the last link at the bottom of the page is the virtual recording of it will take you to the playlist of all the recorded
I
classes.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome.
Does that mean the recording will be on that site before next week?
It's gonna have to be because I'm putting myself under the gun here, Patty. Because yeah, I have to provide it so that anybody who wants to come next week has had a chance to do the homework.
So be ready
Yep.
for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. And then I know I've got Ubaldini agents in here too. So this next one that starts with resources is for the people in the Ubaldini offices. And I think that's it, right? Nobody from Fort Myers. Is anybody here from Space Coast or Cocoa? Nope. Okay. All right. What did we get?
Thank you. I found it. I got it. Thanks.
Does Chat GPT do videos?
Yes. I haven't done them in there in forever. And from what everybody's been telling me that's been heavier on the video side than I have, that they're happy with VO. But that's not to say that, it goes back and forth, right? Like for 2 weeks, Gemini's on top. The next 2 weeks, ChatGPT's on top. You just got to kind of play around with both. If you don't have the budget and you were going to pick one, I would probably, if I'm using this for like website and content and stuff like that, where I want the videos and the images, I'm probably going to lean more towards Gemini, even though me personally, ChatGPT is my favorite tool as a large language model because I've been using it since February of 23. If I was jumping in right now and I wanted access to like more things, I would probably use Gemini Pro. I don't rely on ChatGPT or Gemini for the video and photos because I have other AI tools that I pay for that.
We pay for everything these days.
You are right. It's funny because all of these tools are great. It's like, in my class, some of you have been in my ChatGPT and AI for real estate agents class. All of these things are amazing. It's hard to believe that they're only $20 or $30 each a month, but when you have 10 of them or 15 of them, now we're at that major subscription price, right? So, but it's still powerful tools that you can use. So I would just play around trying to make a video. If you wanted to use the video, the only reason I say video is because the best thing to stop the scroll is a video. So I would want a video of like even a dog jumping into a pool, going after a ball or something like that, right? I have images that I have used. Let me go back to Sunsplash and I'll see if I can find it. Some of my best performing ads have been dogs in the pool, and that's it. Let me see.
And that gets people to click your link.
It sure does. So this is what I was talking about. Like these have gone to iStock. A lot of these used to be free, and I have them. Like there's one, like this one right here. This
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm your conscience.
I love it when you're here to keep me on track, Patty. All right. This one right here. So let me take us back. Because when I search for dog in pool, I see the one I want, which is this one or this one, right? But I can see now it's under the premium images on iStock. This used to be a free download, and I have used this in an ad before, and it gets people to stop because it's different. It's not the typical real estate photo. When you're doing your ads, when you're doing your social media videos, I know we look at what other agents are doing as inspiration for what we want to do, especially if we're just getting started, but it can't look like everybody else's because it's boring. Like, just flat out, I don't know what else to tell you. If yours is, if you're doing a video of your open house and it's like, hi, this is Joe Schmo Realtor, and I want to invite you to my open house today at 123 Flicka Flacka Lane, and I'm going to be here with cookies from noon to 3 p.m., and here, let's go inside and look at the house. And you wave your hand through the door. And it's the same boring crap that every agent does. I will say that if you're not doing anything at all, that boring video is better than the other agent's non-existing video. There's a saying that says, my crappy video is better than your non-existent video. And that is absolutely true. But if you want to set yourself apart, do something different. Even in those images, if I have a dog swimming under the water in the pool, that's going to stop people more than a picture of a pool, or worse yet, the front of a house when you're trying to sell the experience of living with a pool.
I know one better if you insert yourself in the pool with the dog.
That is true. Yep. I agree. And, you know, you can have fun with Sora. You guys know what Sora is?
No.
So that, when you ask me about ChatGPT, it's been a while since I've been messing around in ChatGPT. So Sora is OpenAI's video creation tool. You actually go to a different place. You don't actually do it in ChatGPT. You actually go to Sora. It's Sora. All right, guys, that's part one. Anybody have any questions?
It's actually kind of funny. I was thinking the dog in the pool also for fair housing. That way you couldn't, inadvertently be violating fair housing.
Absolutely. So I have used kids in the past and gotten away with it, but I don't like to do that. I don't like to have kids in the pool. So I will either just have the pool by itself that has some kind of cool feature, whether it's a spillover waterfall or a fire feature by the pool. Like, I had one that was a successful ad that just the pool was kind of blurred out a little bit. You know how you get those like professional photographs where the foreground's completely in focus, but the rest is blurred out. It's called bokeh, right? The fire feature was in full focus and the pool was just kind of blurred out in the background. That was a successful ad. Any kind of like experiential photo works pretty good. And then just have 2 or 3 of those. And you can use, once you get 2 or 3 that you love, just use them in the same ad. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have 3 to 5 photos for every ad that you do. Just keep doing the same ad, because once it's successful, you can just run it again. And I'll show us that next week when we actually do the ad. I'll show you how we can just duplicate and run a successful ad where we don't have to change anything except just run it. Okay, and then the beautiful thing about doing it in Command is the ease of building them, because I don't know if any of you have tried doing ads in Facebook, well, Meta Business now, right? And their Meta Campaign Manager. I can't stand it, because if I want to run one ad, I have to start a campaign. Within that campaign, I have to create an ad set. And within that ad set, I have to finally then create the ad. I don't have time for all that. I just want to create the ad. And Command allows me to just create one ad and run it. So that's why I prefer to do it this way. I will tell you, you have more control over audience in Meta, but it's so confusing to me, even as nerdy as I am. Like, I get lost in there. I can't figure stuff out. I don't find it to be user-friendly whatsoever. So I will run all of my ads in Command. It's just so much easier for me. Okay, so we talked about our return on investment, right? Which is what is going to be the best ad. I will address, because I think it was Kathy that brought it up about an open house ad. An open house ad is a great way to do it, to drive traffic to that open house, okay? We're going to target that city and put it out like that. That is probably my favorite way to do a single property. The only other single property we're going to do, and we're not going to expect to get any buyer leads from it, we are simply making the seller happy, is to do a just listed of your new listing, okay? I'm not even going to waste money on doing it just sold. The seller doesn't care if I do it just sold, and I'm not going to get any leads from it just sold on that single property, so I'm not even going to waste my money. Okay, so open house is great for a single property and to drive traffic to the open house, and then doing some kind of large buyer pool criteria of property, right? So like we did a pool home here in my area under 500,000 because that 450 to 500,000 is our average price range, which means that market statistic means that that's our largest pool of buyers in that price range. So that's why we do that. Okay, we're heading into summertime here where I am. So we want to think about cooling off because it's about 1,000,000 degrees here in the summer. So all of those things kind of help, especially this time right now when I'm running ads in Florida. And then we looked at creating the custom tag, which is going to have a very descriptive name. So FB ad for Facebook. So FB ad PC pool home 500K. Okay. And then my smart plan, I didn't show us changing the name of the smart plan, but I'm going to, when that smart plan that we found that was based on Northport houses, right? I'm just going to copy that and duplicate it for every ad that I do, and I'm going to change the name of it to line up with the tag. Make sense? And then we saw how we can go and create, we can generate AI images or go get stock photos. And that's it for part 1.